Deanery mapping exercises are an energising and engaging way for churches to identify people and places in their areas who have yet to be reached with the gospel. At the end of Matthew's Gospel, Jesus says, "Go and make disciples of all nations." But many churches today find it a challenge with limited resources to connect widely with their communities and stay outward looking in an increasingly secular society. Even when churches are thriving and very welcoming, they are only reaching a fraction of the people around them. So, we need to go to them, make disciples, and start new churches. To reach every person in our areas with the gospel, we need not one church, but many different kinds of churches to connect with the many different kinds of people. Big, medium, small, micro churches, reaching different areas, networks, and people groups. We need a multiplicity of possibilities. All of our churches were started by people who were motivated by the Great Commission to reach new people in new places, in new ways. And that's where mapping comes in. People who know their areas can identify people groups and areas that are underreached by local churches. They can be imaginative with identifying those people and places so that we capture as many different possibilities as we can. Each of these opportunities are then marked up on the map. It's amazing to see how energising this is. People from different churches on their hands and knees discussing places and people who they're not connecting with, but who could be with the right resources. Once the map has been populated, a list of the unreached people groups are written down. This is the long list. Sometimes we've had over 50 ideas generated over a 20 or 30-minute period. If we had all the resources in the world, which we actually do in Christ, then these are the people we would plant churches amongst to reach out to with the gospel in a way that they can relate to. From this long list, a short list can be compiled, which are the 4 or 5 ideas that could be worked on next and further developed. The Deanery might have the resources within it to respond to these opportunities, or other partners can be approached from outside the Deanery who would love to help. From there, advice for developing the ideas, coaching the leaders, training and funding can be sought. Most of the deaneries in the London Diocese of the Church of England have hosted these mapping evenings with their clergy and lay members. We encourage them to use a piece of 4 metres by 4 metre white photographic backdrop paper. We've found that having a roughly drawn map, not pre-printed, feels more creative and leads directly to more creative ideas being shared. On the day of the mapping exercise, you'll need some marker pens, one for each person, to locate their churches on the map. We don't mark parish boundaries. And then mark all the people and places people are not connecting with yet. These could be estates, language groups, school communities, nighttime economies, and so on. We start with an introduction similar to what I've said already, and then we do the mapping together. Then we compile a long list of ideas that have been written down on the map. And we conclude with prayer by praying over the map, naming the various people groups that have been identified, people made in the image of God who have yet to hear about Him. Finally, a follow-up meeting is arranged to agree the shortlist of 4 or 5 top possibilities that might be taken forward with the Deanery and the support of the diocese. You can download instructions from the Centre for Church Planting and Growth site under the Identify tab. Have a go yourself and link us in by Instagram or Twitter.